Hey KU fans, welcome back to another episode of KU Sports Extra with Ben Smith. I'm Matt Tate. We're here at Kansas, David Booth, Kansas Memorial Stadium.
You had a lot of those words right. The order might not have been totally correct, but I'm proud of you. You remembered those words.
Thank you.
It's hard to have a functioning brain, I think, at this point of the night after watching a 12-7 KU football loss to Coastal Carolina. Chanticleers or? I've already forgotten how Les Miles pronounced it correctly earlier in the week.
He did well.
But they came in here, a Sun Belt team that had lost at home to Eastern Michigan, comes to KU in week 2, and pretty much handles the Jayhawks from start to finish. KU opened the night with what you expected. Some Puka Williams,
right.
A successful offensive drive,
right.
Khalil Herbert,
41-yard touchdown.
41-yard touchdown run. So, a couple minutes in, KU's up 7-0. Doesn't score again the rest of the night.
Yeah, that was
troubling night for the offense.
Offense, quarterback, offensive line, offensive coordinator. There's very few players and people not to blame for this 7-point effort. The first drive. So Puka's back. Everybody knows that. He had 120 yards or 109 yards total offense.
Total offense, yeah.
24 touches. He doesn't play the first snap, which I thought was awesome. Because, he's back, but we don't have him out there. Well, he played the next and then a bunch after that.
And he rightfully got the ball more than anybody else.
Right, yeah. The touchdown was a beautiful play call.
Oh, absolutely.
The Puka effect was in full effect on that. They sent him to the right. The entire defense shifted with him, obviously keeping eyes on him, number one. And they hand the ball back left, and Khalil Herbert goes untouched to the end zone. It was a nice play. I thought they ran the ball with purpose at times, but I didn't think they ran the ball enough and enough times. It just baffles me. Last week they got away with it. This week they didn't get away with it, and that has to start with the offensive line. These games, Indiana State, Coastal Carolina, which, KU will be going here next year. Tough environment right there. So who knows what can happen in that one. Long way to go before we get there. But Indiana State, Coastal Carolina, these are games where if you're a Big 12 football team and a Power 5 football team, you are supposed to just be able to hand the ball off 45, 50, 55 times. Use your big bodies and your skilled athletes to just overpower these teams. Coastal Carolina was not particularly big, but they played hard. They caused problems, and a lot of that was because KU had self-inflicted problems. Carter Stanley, as good as he was last week at sort of just not making the mistake and managing the game and helping his offense be in the right positions, he was almost on the flip side of the coin this one.
Yeah.
He made some bad mistakes, some bad decisions, and it absolutely cost him in those moments and big picture as an offense. It just did not allow their running game any room to breathe, and this is what happens.
Yeah, it seemed last week obviously he wasn't anywhere close to perfect.
Right.
And he even had turnovers. He had fumbles
that
went against him. But I feel like just when you make those interceptions that he threw tonight, I think that's I don't know. I don't want to call it demoralizing, but I think it has even a bigger kind of swing for your offense that night, or a negative impact on the momentum of what you're trying to accomplish. And I don't know, after the game, Les Miles kind of referenced about KU's running game that they couldn't pass it effectively.
Right.
And if they had been able to, they thought that could have made the offense actually have some sort of rhythm, which it absolutely did not.
Had none,
Carter Stanley tried to force a throw to Andrew Parchment in the second quarter, and then in the third quarter had kind of an even worse read. Under pressure, kind of rushed it, and the ball totally got away from him.
Yeah, on the second one, he said a little miscommunication.
Okay, there you go.
It was really interesting, and Benton will write more about it, but it was he basically said, "It's on me, it's my fault." Two words that sound a lot alike but mean different things, completely different things. Got in the way on that play particularly, and caused some miscommunication between a couple of receivers. I think Charlotte and Parchment were both out wide. They were a little bit confused by that. Carter Stanley then didn't know exactly where they were, and that's what happens. And so that is what happens when you're this type of program, when it's been 9 years of instability and inconsistency and just issue after issue after issue after issue. I don't think anyone is shocked that Kansas lost one of these games. I just think it's more the way that this one happened.
Right.
You blow up 7-0 in the first 3 minutes of the game, and then you don't score again, and you lose 12-7. That doesn't sit well with anybody. People were grumbling on their way out. To Les Miles' credit, he said, "Hey, I'm not happy. This sucks. This is a painful second game." All those things. What's tricky about it is, for Les Miles, this is just the second time he's done this. At Kansas. Yeah. For all these people, and there were 33-some thousand here tonight, another pretty good crowd considering. For all these people, this is not just the second time. This is the umpteenth time. And it's hard to blame the fans for already being like, I mean, it's just, how can you blame them?
Yeah,
and how can you blame Les for staying positive and saying, hey, we got to just get better. We got to keep getting better. That is what they have to do, and he's right. And he's gonna find a way and keep fighting. He says his team will too, but will they do it with anyone watching? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the last time the offense had the ball, they had to go for it on fourth down because they're down. They don't have any timeouts. We can hit on that right after this.
Yeah.
But they call a 4th and 3. Give the ball to Puka Williams. Of course you do. That's the only guy you want touching the ball.
Right.
Ends up going for 1 yard. KU offense has to leave the field. You could hear, we're up in the press box, so it's not like we get like the full game night atmosphere. We don't get to hear everything. You hear some things. You could hear booing.
Oh yeah.
It made it through those thick windows. You could hear that sound. I'm sure it came across on the broadcast if you were listening on the radio or watching online. So I think that frustration comes on this night. Just like I think it started early in the fourth quarter with the timeouts in that 4th and short situation.
That drive was weird because I think everybody sensed that if they didn't score there, this thing could really be problematic. KU calls timeout when electing to go for it there, down 12-7 at the time. Then Coastal Carolina calls timeout.
To react,
because they didn't want to be caught in a bad look, and they were. KU liked the look that they had. So then KU follows that up.
This is where it really derails.
Right.
Yeah.
KU follows that up with another timeout.
And then also, by the way, your last timeout.
Yeah, your last one. And
with
then
like 13, 12 minutes
left.
left.
12 something, right, I think. And then comes out and runs what essentially is just Carter Stanley rolling out. He said after the game Puka was the option on that play, and he got bumped a little. He said he thought about throwing it when Puka got hit, when there was contact.
Maybe that would draw a flag.
Exactly. But to his credit, and I mean, Carter's a smart guy. I mean, he may not be the best quarterback, and he's certainly not the most experienced guy either, but he's a smart kid, and he said, 4th down, game on the line, I didn't want to throw the ball just hoping that the ref makes a call there. I'd rather still try to make a play, and that's the right thought. That's the right mentality. Just credit Coastal Carolina in that moment. I mean,
absolutely.
Whether it was a penalty or not called or not, they got away with it. They made the play, and KU didn't. And again, there was a lot of time left there. KU got the ball back a couple of more times, but it just, that moment, that one was where you really felt. Typically, those underdog type teams are the ones that are in that moment where, well, we're desperate and we're in this. We got to find a way to go. Here's our chance. KU had that feel tonight of a desperate team, and right now they are. I mean, they're 1-1, and they're heading to Boston College this weekend on a Friday night game that Boston College just hung 45 on somebody this week after scoring nearly that many, if not more, against Virginia Tech last week.
Yeah.
BC's 2-0, KU's 1-1 and reeling on a short week. Then Big 12 play. Les Miles is reason to pay attention, and these guys are working hard. They always do. We say this every year, but at the same time, this is a team facing a real difficult road, and there's no doubt that 1-11 is in play.
Yeah.
At this point, 2-10 would be a huge victory, and nobody wants to hear that.
No. I think we both thought 3-9 this year. So I mean, our expectations weren't through the roof for this team. But this loss, and I think you said it best earlier, the way that it happened was pretty troubling for this team moving forward.
Yeah, sometimes you can lose it to a team like this where they come in and they beat you 45-41 and they did a bunch of stuff they didn't put on film yet, and you didn't know what was coming, you didn't know how to react, and a young team and a new coaching staff. those things happen.
Yeah.
12-7 doesn't happen. Not at home, not when you're a Big 12 team. It does here. We've seen it a lot, and it shouldn't happen. And again, Les said all the right things the best he could. That's a game we should have won. This stings. I'm gonna dwell on this one for a while. I mean, he said all the right things. The only thing that matters now is if he can find a way to inspire this team to get better, and so that they get better results, not just improve in practice. That doesn't mean anything to the people that matter. And the people that matter, now we have to wonder if they're going to come back. So a lot of you listening, I mean, or watching, I don't blame you. So, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think this was already going to be a very tough situation for KU heading to Boston College,
Right.
And I mean, I think it just got all the more difficult. You would like to think like, hey, this is something for them to rally around, but this is a good football team they're about to play.
Yeah.
And,
Short week.
It's give Coastal Carolina credit for winning this game tonight, but I mean, it's not near the level of team that Boston College
Right.
is, and KU looks at this point of the season. Not to say that they can't improve steadily throughout the weeks to come, but right now this looks like your typical KU team.
Yep.
You got some talented guys.
Right.
You got maybe some reason to be excited if you're a fan just with Puka Williams, but I don't know, just during the game, and I mean, I was kind of paying attention to Twitter while I'm writing my stories and stuff. It seemed like a lot of people were frustrated with the offense, with the play calling, with the play of the quarterback. And I mean, I know fans go crazy about quarterback play anytime that you're losing.
Sure.
But there's a lot that fans are probably worried about it, and rightfully so.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, the bottom line, 10 years into the post-Mark Mangino era, KU's still looking for a quarterback, and KU's still looking for adequate offensive line play. They didn't get either tonight, and that's what happens, 12-7. Coastal Carolina now 1-1, KU also 1-1. Boston College is the next game, on the road, a true road game. Back east, Benton will be there. I won't. I win. No, it'll be interesting. I mean, these guys, I do believe that they work hard. I do believe that they fight. I do believe, like you said, they will try to rally. Yeah. The question is, can they? This one hurts, and you can see that on their faces.
Absolutely.
You can hear that in their voices, and it'll be very interesting, a very interesting week. That's all we got for KU Sports Extra tonight. Again, KU loses 12-7 to Coastal Carolina. We'll talk to you guys again next week. Maybe we won't. Benton will do this by himself.
Hey, maybe I'll see if I can find someone I used to work with.
Oh my gosh, he will be there. He will be there. Stay tuned. Thanks for checking out KU Sports Extra.